As above, so below. It is one of the first spiritual maxims many encounter upon awakening from the dream world of consensus reality, and is intended to highlight the connections between the macrocosm and microcosm. We all have a good enough grasp of the microcosm, that's us, here in this place, where getting a grasp of the macrocosm is what the spiritual journey is all about. Of course, macrocosm is just another descriptive for all we seek to know and understand about this experience called life. There's no shortage of other words, labels, and names for it, and because a good many humans still attach emotional value to their beliefs and labels, I'll just refer to it as the realm of permanence, hoping nobody feels offended in any way. This realm of permanence is where we all originate from, and return to. It is source. Reincarnation. Back when time was young, millions of souls agreed to participate in a kind of experiment, which is why Earth isn't homeworld for any of us, we're all transplants here. Source wanted to know if we could be stranded here on this primitive, negative, low-density, low-vibration planet with absolutely no memory and still find our way back home to Source. This transmigration of souls would play out over thousands of generations, with each of the participants having multiple and successive lifetime experiences, called incarnations. When not incarnated into the physical realms, each of us exists in an energetic state which many refer to as spirit. Every sovereign soul is kind of a triad being, comprised of three distinct aspects known as the thinker, the doer, and the knower. When it comes time for another incarnation on Earth, only the thinker and doer aspects incarnate into the physical body, the knower aspect remains in the realm of permanence functioning as a sort of guide and lifeguard, and we call this our higher self. Because Source invented multitasking, our various incarnations serve several goals simultaneously, with our advancement as a soul being the primary function. With each lifetime we have the opportunity to learn more, remember more, to become more. The reason for all this is of course to attain enlightenment, and then return home, with everyone else, on the homeward leg of this great soul migration. Because one cannot attain enlightenment from a single, lone perspective, we're sorta required to experience life from all perspectives before we're done. This means that in the fullness of time every one of us will experience multiple lives in each gender, from both ends of every polarity, with a generous helping of everything in between. We will know male and female, wealth and poverty, peace and violence, sickness and health, and when we have experienced life through each of these perspectives, enlightenment will be within our grasp. We not only reincarnate as individuals, but also within select groups of individuals so as to learn the dynamics of family structure, with each in the group taking turns as mother, father and child. There are of course others who also travel with us from one incarnation to another, or drop by every other lifetime or so. I just call them the chorus of unseen friends because kindred spirits tend to travel together. Some of them you recognize immediately, and may even share memories of previous sojourns together. Others might not be incarnate just now, but stay close to keep tabs on us, and we call them guides or maybe angels, because we can feel their presence. Each of us feels a hollow empty longing deep within our soul. We know not what this void is, just that we need it filled to become fulfilled somehow, and though we may risk many an addiction to fill this void, nothing comes close until we find our twin soul, or soulmate. Some become obsessed with the search for their soulmate, even to the detriment of their spiritual progress. It is best to not become overly obsessed with finding your soulmate, for several reasons. First and perhaps most obvious is that for every one of us there are any number of potential soulmates in a lifetime, and no guarantee that the perfect one for you is even incarnated just now. Searching is no way to find your perfect mate, being, however, is. If you really want the challenge and exhilaration of a soulmate-level relationship, then you must yourself already possess the same qualities and attributes you seek in a life partner. Magnetism, it works every time. Many of us believe that our incarnation at the time of the great shift of the ages is no cosmic accident. With Team Light and Team Dark each vying for the collective souls of humanity, I believe that Source has marshaled its most adept spiritual masters and warriors to incarnate at this time. We didn't come here to be spectators. We are here to act on behalf of humanity and Earth as agents of change, to restore balance and freedom. We're not born obnoxious, greedy and violent, those things are bred and programmed into us to prevent us from remembering who we really are, and what we're here to accomplish. Each of us incarnates here with two objectives. First, there are those things we came here to learn on our quest for enlightenment, and then there is something we came here to do, a service to perform, our personal spiritual mission. As for the time between incarnations, it is divided into 12 different states. Immediately following the transition called death, the spirit moves sequentially through 6 after-death states. The first of these is a kind of recess, a time to acclimate to the transition, a time to let the memory begin to recover. Following the rest period there are 5 more after-death states to traverse, having to do with reviewing the just-ended life, and assessing the lessons learned, and so forth. The next 6 states are pre-birth states, and as such are geared to assist in preparing for another incarnation. It is within these 6 phases that we choose what gender we will be, what race, who our parents will be, and the things we are going back to learn. As previously stated, there is also group reincarnation, which essentially is like-minded kindred spirits moving through time together, usually with a specific agenda in mind. This differs from the family-type group reincarnation primarily because each member of the group seeks the optimal individual factors needed to achieve the group's goal. Other times groups will group incarnate for the sheer fun and challenge of finding and being with one another time and again. There is no set, or required number of incarnations we must experience. Most of us will require a good many incarnations to learn our lessons and reach enlightenment, others will get it sooner, and move on. You see, it's all about breaking the cycle of reincarnation, and moving on to higher vibes and a better neighborhood. Karma. Being as this is a universe of free will and destiny rather than that of a fixed fate, we humans often run smack up against the universal law of unintended consequences as the energy connections come back around to bite us in the ass, otherwise known as karma. Let's say you spent an incarnation as someone who did violence to others, your karma then would be to live another incarnation on the receiving end of violence, so your soul has the experience of both perspectives. If on the other hand you lived a life of always putting the needs of others before your own, in another life, your needs would all be met quite easily. These days we know the same energy by other names, like poetic justice, or what goes around comes around, but regardless what label you put on it, karma always prevails. There are naturally several differing types of karma to consider, other than the individual kind. Beyond simple concepts like good and bad karma, there is the kind seemingly dished out by the universe itself, called retributional karma, to ensure that no evil deed goes unpunished. There is also group karma and planetary karma, as well as my personal favorite, instant karma. Usually karma takes a while to catch up with us, which is really a pity because often the cause and effect aren't immediately recognized. Sometimes however karma acts more like a mouse trap, and comes smashing down instantly, kind of like instant messaging from the universe. It's very interesting that instant karma expresses primarily in one of 2 ways. One expression is for when the lesson has to be processed and assimilated instantly, and the other happens when your karma is nearly 0. When a soul has balanced the karmic scales while incarnated, then acquires new karma, it tends to come back around very quickly, which is a good thing. A lot of folks have the wrong idea about what karma really is. It isn't punishment, but rather feedback from source. In this world of free will and destiny, when one commits a crime, sin or other wrongdoing, the punishment is the act of wrongdoing itself. Source does not concern itself with revenge, or vengeance, we came up with that all on our own. Seeking revenge upon others for their misdeeds only serves to amplify and extend the karmic cycle. Revenge is like drinking a bottle of poison thinking it will kill your enemy and never results in a positive outcome. There is a good reason why folks on the spiritual path seek to balance out their karma, and that's because like reincarnation, karma is a cycle we need and want to break free from. It's a merry-go-round of repetitive patterns, behavior and thinking, and no matter how thrilling and entertaining the ride is, eventually we want off. We are riding the cusp of humanity's evolution this very moment, and one of the realities within our grasp is the one where all are liberated from the cycles of reincarnation and karma, forever. Sound good to you? Our knower aspects aren't going to just hand this to us on a silver platter, that's not how it works. Just thinking isn't enough, we must act upon our thoughts, and do that which is necessary to ensure reaching our desired destination. That is, after all, why the thinker and doer incarnated into physicality. The problem is that while asleep within consensus reality, we cannot hear the knower aspect of our soul, and are essentially cut off from higher self and spirit. Destiny. I do not believe in a fate that falls on men however they act, but I do believe in a fate that falls on them unless they act. Buddha, those millions of souls who undertook the experiment in separation so long ago all share in a group noetic destiny. Likewise each of us activates an individual destiny each time we incarnate in this place. Only when we understand that we create our reality with our thoughts, can we begin to understand that we also are the masters of our personal destiny. The dictionary can be most helpful in understanding destiny, because you find it between destination and destitute. If you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there. Destiny isn't a place you arrive at, it is something you work for and achieve. Perhaps the idea was expressed best by Sarah Connor in the Terminator franchise, there is no fate but what we make for ourselves. This isn't new or even metaphysically based knowledge. Philosophers and theologians have always known that the reality we see manifest originates in our very thoughts. Here is how it works. The destiny formula. Everything is energy. Energy follows thought. Thought becomes belief. Belief determines your reality. Your reality shapes your destiny. We do not consider our thoughts as being so powerful, but they are, especially the negative and hurtful ones we so often strengthen further by speaking them aloud. When our thoughts are negative or disempowering, that energy is programmed into everything that thought touches, and if left unbalanced will also taint the resulting reality. It is not our nature to think hurtful or diminishing thoughts about ourselves and others, we do so because that is what we have been conditioned and trained to do over countless generations. Forces not aligned with the realm of permanence like this world just as it is now and would not willingly see us attain all we came here to do. By not choosing a destiny for yourself, someone else will be happy to provide one for you, rest assured. If you change your beliefs, your reality changes accordingly. It has to because it has no choice, but you do. The universe rearranges itself to accommodate your picture of reality. If you think you are powerless against fate, and destined to fail, the universe assumes you must need those lessons to fulfill yourself, and gives them to you. It is a surprisingly easy thing to test for non-believers. Try going a week without finishing a negative thought. When you catch yourself in the middle of a negative thought, simply vaporize it, then replace it with a similar thought having a positive polarity. If you do your part, you will see tangible results because it works, it has to. Furthermore, every time you repeat that little thought exercise, you are eroding old negative neural pathways in the brain, and rewiring it with new, positive polarity thoughts. When you see how easy it is to change your reality, you'll be doing it all the time. When that happens, teach it to others. And if you want to learn more, I recommend you click the link in the description, www.power-quadrant.blogspot.com/p/your-road-straight-to-success.html. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe and share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter and Google+. Thank you for watching and see you next time.